Hey friends, it's been a while and you've been on my mind. I just wanted to get on here today and encourage you. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom and your days are filled with lots of dishes and toys everywhere chasing after the little feet, or you're a CEO of a big company and you have a lot of people depending on you to lead them. Or maybe you are in a job that's temporary right now. You don't love it, but you've got to do it to pay the bills. Today, I wanted to encourage you in your everyday and the work that you do every single day. We are in the book of Ecclesiastes today, and I wanted to go over to chapter 9. So in chapter 9, it says, "Go eat your food with gladness and drink your wine with a joyful heart, for God has already approved what you do." God knows that you are in a season, whether it's a season that you choose to be in, or it's a season that you have to go through in order to get to the peak and you're going through your valley. He says, whatever it is that you do it with gladness. Drink your wine. He's not saying go get drunk, but he's just saying, whatever you do it with a joyful heart because God has already approved what you do. And he has big plans for you. And this current season of life is part of that plan. So work joyfully since our approval comes from God. The only person that you have to report to at the end of your life is the man himself. And so at the end of our lives, as we're heading to heaven, he is going to ask us how we lived our days. And did we do it joyfully? Because the approval we want to get from is from God and from nobody else. He moves on in verse 10 to say that whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. What does this mean? This means that you want to work energetically, even if the results seem uncertain, even if maybe you just feel discouraged. Is there going to ever be light at the end of the tunnel? I remember having my first two were born less than a year apart. Let's just say I didn't sleep for 2 years straight. And as the night feedings in the middle of the night, as it was just changing diapers around the clock, and me going through postpartum and not remembering who I am and not feeling like myself, I had to remember that as I was scrubbing those dishes, that whatever our hand finds to do it with the joy of God. Do it with all your might, and knowing that I'm doing this for not just my children, but my children are God's children. I'm doing it for his kids. He gave them to me to raise to be like him. And so, whatever it is that I'm doing, whether I'm at work and I'm trying, feels like maybe I'm drudging through the process, drudging through the day, not having enough coffee or tea or caffeine to be able to get through the day. Whatever you do it with all your might. I was flying home from Canada this weekend and I had to get up and I had to get to the airport by 3 a.m. in order to make a 6 a.m. international flight home. And so as soon as the customs opened, because the way they do it in Canada going home to the US is you actually go through customs in Canada before you land in the US. And when you land in the US, you don't have to go through customs. So not sure why they do it that way, but when I got to the airport, they opened up customs. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, this very excited worker that was standing at the TSA, or I'm not sure what they call it in Canada, but the checkpoint where you put all your security, the security checkpoint where you put all your stuff through the little belt and they take the x-ray of your liquids. Well, this one worker decided that he was going to love his job and make it fun for everybody around him. He was standing in line telling jokes. He was talking about how you get this plastic bag to put your contact saline solution and lotions and toothpaste in, courtesy of your tax-paying dollars was his joke. And he had all sorts of jokes that he was telling as he was telling you how to take off your shoes and your belt. and jokes about keeping your clothes on. So he decided to take his work and do it joyfully. It just made me smile. It made everybody in line smile at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so you might not enjoy everything that you have to do in your line of work or whatever it is that you're doing every single day. But Lord and God says to remember that whatever you do, to be doing it joyfully. He also talks about that we want to work wisely with the benefit of God's perspective. And in verse 13, he talks about that the wisdom I have also seen under the sun, and it seemed great to me. So we need to live life leaning on God's wisdom to take us through the valleys. As we're going through the valleys to get to the peaks, we need to be asking God for his wisdom and guidance. And where is that wisdom and guidance? A lot of the times you're like, well, I'm listening. I'm asking for the advice, but I don't know where to look. And guess what? It's all in the book. It's all in the book. It's in the Bible. God's word is there waiting for you to hear his instructions. And so as he's talking in verses 13 through 18 of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, he's telling you to lean on his wisdom. So as the days might seem hard, and as they say in rearing children, the days are long, but the years are short. And to just follow his instructions for life, because when you do, life becomes a whole lot easier. It becomes a whole lot more meaningful, and doing it God's way instead of our way or the world's way will bring us more joy and happiness and a more peaceful and better result in the end. I hope that this encourages you today. I promise to be on here more consistently. You really have been on my mind. God bless you. I'm praying for all of you to feel the love of Christ and for you to feel purpose-driven every single day. I love you and see you next time.